So I tell the guy, right, the kettlebell is way too oily. They're telling me it's intentional. I'm telling them, no, you just unpacked it, unboxed it. And this is what happens when you unbox a kettlebell. It's still oily. So you gotta do some work with the handle to make sure you got more grip. And then I said, but hey, no worries. Do you have chalk? You know what they say? They tell me, no, we don't have chalk because we don't want the floor to be dirty. I'm like, God help me. So we were at FIBO in Cologne in Germany, and wow, what a trip it was. It was interesting to say the least. Now, I'm frustrated with a couple of things, but before I want to jump into the frustration part, let me share the good things that I've seen. So the good things that I've seen that I really enjoyed is the interaction with some of you guys. One of our subscribers, his name is Thomas. He watches our channel. He stopped us as we were walking through the crowd. He stopped us. He held up his iPhone and he said, Gregory, please let me take a picture with you and Angie because I don't want to take no pictures with nobody except with you. And that really went straight to my heart. And just in general, walking through the crowds and then having some people stop you and saying, hey, Lebe Stock, I watch your content on YouTube. I love what you do with kettlebells. That's very motivating. I really enjoy it, even though I just consider myself a regular guy who just fell in love with kettlebells and who's able to make money off of his passion and to live and breathe this stuff while being able to monetize it and making it my profession. This is a blessing. God has blessed me thoroughly. So I really enjoyed this. The second thing that I enjoyed was high rocks. The first time I've heard about high rocks was a couple of years ago, I'm assuming, and I didn't really know what it was. Then it popped up in a podcast conversation that I had with Emilio, and he shared back then that high rocks is a different concept than CrossFit. It is similar, but it's different in its approach. So at FIBO, they rented a big hall, I think one part of it was only reserved for them. So I did my research, I checked it out, and I liked the idea. It's always a cardio-focused event. The 1K run, you do this 8 times, but every time you do the 1K run, then you have to do a strength part, or they call it a functional workout. So you do the 1K run, then you have to do the 1K row, then it's 1K run again, then it's farmers walks, then it's 1K run again, then it's wall balls, then 1K run again, then lunges. So what they're doing, it's very accessible. You can do it in pairs, you can do it alone. They have a pro division, but it's also for everybody, and I think they have a number on their website that says up to 98% of their participants finish the race, which is awesome. So the guys who are behind it, at least one of these guys, he has lots of experience. I think his name is Christian Tutzke. He has lots of experience in organizing big events all around the world. So he took that experience. He saw the gap in the fitness market. He created High Rocks in 2017. And then a couple of years later, COVID hit, but they survived. And now I think they have 90,000 athletes. It's big. It's crazy. I like the concept. I'm not sponsored by them. I didn't do the race. I didn't talk to nobody. I just observed the scenery and I liked it. I enjoyed it. It's very accessible. It's not just very technical and lots of heavy and crazy and dangerous exercises to a certain extent where it takes you a long time to learn the skill. No, it's just sled push and then you run, and then it's lunges and then you run. Even though running is technical, sled pushes is not that technical, but lunging and then burpee jumps, I like it. I like it. It's less technical. We can agree on this. So these are the things that I enjoyed. Now, what was my biggest frustration? That's the reason why I'm airing this on the YouTube channel. And please let me know in the comments if you enjoy these types of videos, the talking head videos, because I'm mostly focused on the workouts and the kettlebell content, but sometimes I feel like I gotta just share what's inside of me, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So leave it a like if you do, dislike if you don't. I need your feedback if I should continue making these videos. So here's the thing. I told Angie, please make a caption, not a caption, take an image as we are driving back home from FIBO, because I was so discouraged and I was so frustrated and I felt it in my stomach. So it went up from here, it went up to here, and I had that look on my face, and that's the thumbnail. So no, this is not a BMW car review, even though it looks like it, right? No, it is not. So I think that was my point on my biggest frustration as we were driving back home. And that is, let me tell you guys, the kettlebell is nowhere. It is nowhere. It is not popular. Let me tell you, you are into kettlebells, right? And maybe if you are on the fringe, right? You just discovered kettlebells and now you're discovering this channel. I love you. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for being part of the channel. This is probably not the folks that I talk to. The folks that I want to talk to right now are the folks who are like me, geeks and nerds. We know the names in the kettlebell sphere. We know the words. We know the exercises. We know the difference between sport and hardstyle. We even talk about the giveaway hybrid style, the stuff that I'm coming up with, right? We know what's the difference between a swing, a clean and press, and a snatch. We know everything. We know what's a hand insertion. We know what's top fixation. We know the finger grip. We know the hook grip. We know a hollow car competition kettlebell. We know the difference between a hollow car and a standard competition kettlebells. We also know the difference between the competition kettlebell and the cast iron. These are the folks that I'm talking to. And let me tell you guys, nobody cares about that stuff. And I'm smiling while I'm saying this. Why am I saying this? Every year, the fitness industry grows by a huge margin. It grows every year. And last year in 2023, I believe I saw more kettlebells, even though back then they were also only decorative art, than now in 2024. So the industry has grown, but the kettlebell is still a niche product, even though you and I, we think we see it all the time, right? So we are in that little bubble, and I believe that bubble is so small in the fitness industry. It's so small. And that's what really gets me. Listen, you know what you see at FIBO? You see Precor, you see Gym 80, you see Techno Gym, you see Panata, you see all these big brands, and they have these huge places. And there's even that one supplement company. Their name is ESN. That one supplement company, they rented a whole space, like what, 20,000 or 10,000 square feet. It was 8,000 quadratmeter, right? So that's more square feet. Who cares about these numbers? They rented their whole space, and it was packed with so much people that they had to reroute the flow of people. And you had to wait at least 2 hours before you were able to get into that space. Why? Because there were these influencers. And hey, this is no negative talk against influencers. I'm telling you, I'm not an influencer, right? So I'm not that guy. I don't spend hours on a phone communicating with everybody and then, you know, filming myself and taking selfies all the time and going into places and then it's all about me. No, that's not me. I'm about something else, right? But hey, no, I'm not trying to disrespect nobody. But here are these influencers, right? And I've never heard of them. These young guys and bodybuilders and just the typical, and even an arm wrestler, right? So they are sponsored by that brand, and it's a supplement company, right? And that hall is filled. We weren't able to get in. It's so many people, and you had Phil Heath and all these famous bodybuilders. Nobody cared about these guys. Nobody cares about these guys. There was even Ronnie Coleman, and we were there on a Saturday. Nobody cares about these guys anymore, right? We all know this. It was 10 years ago. What's the first realization in 2014 or 2013, 2012, when we all realized that influencers have more power. This is not about it. It's about a supplement company getting all the influencers and then filling a whole hall, and all the kids buy from them. They buy their protein. And then you have this one brand, leggings brand. They do leggings, right? All the girls, all these young girls, they all have the leggings. Everybody, they walk around like clones, like drones. It's crazy. So they all have these leggings. Then they wait in line for 2 hours to be able to go to that store, that pop-up shop, to check out the leggings that they want, even though they look all the same. And then they have to leave the premise. And then at the end, they have to wait to buy a couple of more leggings that they already own and that everybody else owns. This is crazy. Everybody look the same with these girls, right? And even with these lips and stuff. That's crazy, but that's another topic. I'm not trying to go there, but I'm going on a tangent. So everybody's in there for bodybuilding, for the Gym 80s, for the Precor, for these machines, but the kettlebell's nowhere to be found. Why is that frustrating? And you could say, well, Gregor, you have a functioning business, your YouTube channel is growing, you are doing well with kettlebells and everything. Yeah, but the fact that this powerful tool is not fairly equally represented. It just drives me nuts. And no maces. I mean, maces, what are you talking about? Club bells. Are you crazy? The only thing that was represented that falls into that niche was calisthenics. But why? Because it looks sexy, it looks crazy. Some of these guys, it's like the gymnast, what the moves that they do. It's crazy. Of course, everybody's looking, everybody's watching. That's awesome. Calisthenics, awesome. But no kettlebells. But there was this one booth. They had a couple of kettlebells lined up. It was 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, up to the 40 kg. So I'm walking past that booth with Angie. We'll look at the competition. They're like, hey, we have a competition. I'm like, oh, awesome. They had an idea. I have an idea. I had an idea to bring up a competition. Next year, we got to represent at FIBO with Pro Kettlebell. And then we got to do a big exhibition with snatch competition. Show everybody that the kettlebell is the martial art of fitness. But again, I'm digressing. So you see that little spot, these couple of kettlebells, right? So what's the competition? Bottom up presses. I'm like, what? So I walk past it. I'm like, no, I can't do this. So I walk back to it. I look at these kettlebells. I look at the guy. So the guy comes up to me. He's like, hey, you want to sign that waiver? You want to join that competition? Here's what you can win, $100 or something like this. I was like, dude, stop it. Bottom up presses? Really? That's the only thing that you can come up with. It's bottom up presses. The one exercise that nobody does with kettlebells, right? That's a feat, that's a circus feat again. So the only thing that you come up with is bottom up presses. Are you stupid? Now, I didn't say stupid, right? The guy, I mean, that's not his issue. That's not his fault. So as he realizes that I'm coming with this passion, I'm like, bro, you gotta do snatches. So I showed him snatches. I showed him clean presses. I showed him swings. I dropped the kettlebells onto the floor. I said, this is what you gotta do. And they're like, yeah, but we don't do this around here. Oh, I know where you're coming from, but this is too technical. This is too hard. No, they didn't say it was too hard. They say, well, it's probably too easy. I'm like, what's too easy? Snatching a 24 kg, that's not very easy, but it's still doable. A 24 kg bottom up press, that's tough. And you want to go up to the 40 kg? Who does a 40 kg bottom up press? Nobody. Yeah, maybe some strongmen, some crazy folks. But other than that, nobody does this. Nobody on God's green earth who knows about kettlebells does this. So I'm like, all right, I got it. So I talked to this guy. So the dude is like, he's stepping back. He's like, oh, I see this guy's filled with fire. And he's telling me how to move that stuff. So suddenly he walks away. I'm like, dude, hey, these kettlebells, as I'm grabbing the 20 for the bottom up press, I tell the guy, bro, they're still oiled. The grip is still oiled. They are flinging back and forth inside my grip. Oh, we do this intentionally. No, you don't. You unpack these kettlebells that you got from China. And by the way, the Chinese suppliers, they're all at the other side of the booth. Isn't that crazy? All at the other side. So you have Fanata and Jim 80 and all these guys, they're propping themselves up. And right there in the back of the Chinese, the guys who manufacture that stuff, right? It's crazy. They got the same stuff, the same air bike, the same barbells, the same lat pulls. But hey, well, this is Chinese, right? With these small booths, nobody cares. But these are the guys who manufacture that stuff. And right there in the front, you have the folks be like, yeah, Jim 80 machines, they're awesome. Come on, man. Oh, man, I'm going into tension and I enjoy it. I feel it popping up. I'm going crazy. So I have to really let out that steam. I have to let it out. So I tell the guy, right, the kettlebell is way too oily. They're telling me it's intentional. I'm telling them, no, you just unpacked it, unboxed it. And this is what happens when you unbox a kettlebell. It's still oily. So you gotta do some work with the handle to make sure you got more grip. And then I said, but hey, no worries. Do you have chalk? You know what they say? They tell me, no, we don't have chalk because we don't want the floor to be dirty. I'm like, God help me. God help me. You are trying to do a kettlebell competition kind of style, one of the stupidest exercises ever, and you're not allowed to use chalk. This was the perfect representation of kettlebells. And now you might be thinking, Gregory, you're just going crazy. You're overdoing it. You're way over yourself. You're exaggerating. How do you expect a kettlebell to be represented in the bodybuilding sphere or in the supplementation sphere? Well, that's one thing. We can still make the kettlebell look sexy because I believe it's the martial art of kettlebell training, of fitness. And don't tell me that these kids are not interested in kettlebells. They just see one thing. They see this and this, right? If they would see how you can use a kettlebell and how you could implement it into your bodybuilding routine, don't tell me that they wouldn't like it. Because there's this mystique that still revolves around it. But it's on one side, that's a cool thing. On the other side, it's a bad thing because everybody thinks they're so dangerous and they require so much skill. And this is our fault. We walk around saying that the kettlebell is loaded. No, it's not loaded. That's a weight, just like a dumbbell. It's not loaded. Stop this mystique around kettlebells. We have to break it down and make it accessible and make it simple so that people understand that you can do a clean and press and a snatch without dying or hurting yourself. Oh yeah, this is the only perfect form. This doesn't exist. This doesn't exist. So, wow, boy, let me tell you. It was the only... Here, I have to catch my train of thought again, right? I'm just doing this off the cuff. No notes, no everything. Just everything's right in here. And the emotions are flaring up. I feel it. This is where my frustration is coming from, right? So, don't expect the kettlebell to be represented in the bodybuilding or supplementation world, even though it could be. Okay, but I see your point. There was a huge area of functional fitness. Do you think that they had a kettlebell there? Yes, they had them, but it was for decoration. Even functional, not functional patterns, not that guy. Functional, perform better. Even perform better. Nothing. Or maybe they did something, but it was so, we were on Saturday. Everybody was there, right? It was so jam-packed and they didn't do anything. The kettlebell's not represented. And then I see high rocks, right? Let's jump back to high rocks. Hey, they include kettlebells, but what are they doing? It's just farmers carries. And they use center kettlebells. Please go now on Google and look at the design of a center kettlebell. It might make sense for farmers walk, or that was the reason why they designed it that way, but you cannot use this stupid kettlebell for anything else than grabbing it and walking around. So again, the kettlebell is not represented. It's not popular. Nobody cares about it. Nobody. It's just us, that small little world. And the reason why it's so frustrated, I even talked to very popular fitness coaches who think the only reason why you use a kettlebell is because you want to improve or increase your jump height. It goes to show that every year, I mean, the supplement industry is worth billions. The fitness industry is worth billions. And I think the supplement industry is twice as much value or twice as much worth, right? Isn't that stupid, right? The training, the stuff that gets you this, right? The stuff that gets you this is less valuable than the protein shakes. When at the end of the day, protein shakes are just supplements. They're not there to build your body. They're just supplements that you can use as an as a tool to assist your journey. That's why it's called supplement. If you don't have something that's complete, you don't need to supplement it. First, make sure that your essence is complete, and that is nutrition and the foods that you eat and stuff. But again, I'm going on a tirade. I'm just mad. And oh my God, it's just crazy. It's just crazy, let me tell you. The kettlebell's not popular, even though we know how powerful of a tool that it is. Like I said, this one guy, he thinks you can improve your jump height. It's one of the best tools for everyday fitness. It's one of the best tools to implement in training. Why not represent it properly? Why not make sure that it's widely accessible and that the kids, the next generation, see it too? Yeah, that was the part that was really, really frustrating. And I really got mad. And yeah, that's probably one of the reasons why I think we have to change something. And why, yeah, I talked to some folks at FIBO. Maybe we can set up something next year at FIBO. I don't even know if that's the place to be, right? But at the end of the day, it should be the place to be, because it is where the biggest brands come together, and then they talk about fitness. They share fitness. And I saw even the podiums and the talks. Everybody, it's always the same folks, always the same names who have these talks. It's like, right? They just supplement each other. They make sure that everybody, that their own crowd is not. Let's stop this. I gotta stop it. Yeah, we gotta do something. Yeah, but this is the reason why I'm doing this, right? That's exactly the reason why I'm doing this. And I love kettlebells, and the reason or the fact that it's not as represented as it should be, that really gets on my nerves. And you think that Pavel and everybody else, or me, or name everybody else who came before me, you think that we've done a great job in popularizing kettlebells? Well, the only thing that we were able to create was a drop in the bucket of the ocean. A droplet in the ocean. That's it. That's why we have to do something. So I'm not sitting around complaining and yelling and being mad, right? Because, hey, it's a business after all. And I do understand why the kettlebell still takes a backseat, because everybody thinks it requires so much skill. But at the end of the day, you see how popular CrossFit got? And a barbell snatch is way more complex, way more dangerous than a kettlebell snatch. But still, I think we in the kettlebell sphere, and maybe I'm guilty too, we in here, over here fighting, not being able to come to a conclusion or to a consensus on what exercise makes the most sense, while everybody else ignores us. I think that's it. Yeah. So that was my impression of FIBO. No B-roll, just a little bit in the beginning, but yeah. How do you like this video? If you like it, clean and press the like and subscribe button. Share with a friend who's also interested in kettlebells. Make sure we got to popularize this thing. We got to push the kettlebell. We got to push it more out front. Make sure, let everybody know that this wonderful tool exists and that it's very accessible. No, it's not technical. Yes, it requires a little bit of skill, but learning skill also improves your brain capacity, your RAM. It might also be, I had a conversation with one guy once, and I have to look for it and re-edit this and then put it on the podcast channel, where this one guy said that kettlebells can even help you or help the older generation combat Alzheimer's. And the only thing that the fitness industry cares about is 4,322 variations of a lat pull down. That sums it up. All right. Like, subscribe. See you in the next one. Do your kettlebell workout.